I haven't been to a comic show yet in 2024, so when Streetside Anthony was selling some comic books, I picked up a couple. Let's take a look at what I picked up and why. Up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hey there, panelologists. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. Before we get started, do all that like, comment, subscribe stuff. You know what to do. Other socials, Instagram, Bronzeville_comics. I'm on Whatnot at Bronzeville_comics, and I do sales every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, although I'm at Bronzeville_comics. There is somebody who is just Bronzeville Comics. Not me. Don't be confused. They don't have any followers. I don't know what's going on. If that's somebody trying to, duplicate me in some regard. Also, there's a link in the description of this video. You can sign on to Whatnot if you've not already done so and get $5 off your first purchase. Doesn't have to be with me. Also, eBay store, email. Let's take a look. So I went to Streetside Anthony's. He was having a sale of some comics and weather, holidays, family stuff. I haven't been to a comic show in since, I don't know, last year. So I picked up a few books. I'm like, I didn't want to, get too much. And Streetside had gotten in touch with me last week. He also had some Gemini mailers that used ones that he was getting rid of. So he doesn't sell online. So he said, do I want them? And I picked up like a trunk full of Gemini mailers. Now they're all sitting in my garage. Because I'm not putting them in the comic book room. As you can see, still like a little bit of a mess over here. It's getting better. A little more organized over here. Still some work to do. Slowly but surely. So when I came in, there were some of the usual folks I see at his sales, including my buddy Aaron from ABH Comics, and he had some AOKs for me, some really cool stuff. This Supergirl #2 DC Universe logo. That's a pretty cool book. And then these I'm always on the lookout for, and I really appreciate this. Love these. I'm trying to get the run. I never see them. This is the Mike Allred Batman 66 variant covers, and it was July 2014. During the New 52, most of the books were at issue 31. So books that started with the New 32 are at issue 31. Like Justice League is the big one because that's the first appearance of Jessica Cruz. I do have that. That one's going off to CGC because I think it is a strong 9/8 contender. But this is Green Lantern Corps. I love it. You have the Corps climbing up the Green Lantern stairs, and then you have Batman and Robin going, what's going on? Climbing up the side of the building in the background. That's pretty cool. Not all of them include Batman and Robin, but this one's also really nice. Batman Superman. Allred does a great Adam West version of Batman. And then Superman with the Bottled City of Kandor. Really love these. And then he said he had this because anybody who watches my channel knows how much I love this particular book. And I already actually have a copy, but he got a Jerry Ordway signed copy of Infinity Inc. 25. That's really, really nice. I'm not sure where he picked that up. I know Ordway is at some shows, like he's at Terrificon. Then I picked up this small run. The Streetside had a ton of dollar boxes folks were going through. These hardware books, and I think it's missing one of the issues which I didn't have, between 35 and 46. I don't think it has 41. It's 47 through 50 are the really tough ones to find, really low print counts. But the print count did get lower. I think I bailed on the series, I guess. Was it after issue 34? Or maybe they didn't have. Let me see. I know I collected it from the beginning. And these are all nice condition. These are all high grade. So these are all going in the PC. At least until I have... Anthony had a stack of one of the Hawkman volumes. And he's like, do you want this? I go, I have them all. Yeah, I got 1 through 34 in the newsstand. So this starts with 35. So I have 49. So I think I'm only missing like 4 or 5 issues now. He was like, he had a stack of Hawkman. I'm like, I got it. I got that series. right off the shelf. I think it was volume 3, which is 35 issues. Yeah, it looks like he had, I think he had, no, maybe it was volume 4. I don't know. No, it was definitely volume 4, which is 48 issues. I have them all. Anyway, then there was this. This book I had to laugh at for $1. Remember when this was like a $250 9.8? I do because I bought one. Yeah, because it's the first time that Monica Rambeau is referred to as Photon or one of her other names. Big spec book during the comic boom. Went absolutely nowhere because there's plenty of them. This next book is still a nice 90s key, and I looked at it. I think this is a submittable book without a press. It is X-Men 25. It's the issue in which all the month, this particular month, all the X-Men books had this hologram. This one, the hologram's really clean. Often they're very easy to get scratched, and the book itself is flawless. I didn't see a spine tick on it. I got to get it in a new bag and board, and I'm not even going to press this. Just send it right this in 9.8. This is where Magneto removes the adamantium from Wolverine's skeleton. It's like about a $140 book in a 9.8, so that's going straight to CGC in a pre-screen. X-Men Marvel Milestone Edition of X-Men 1. I'm probably going to use this as a giveaway on one of my Whatnot shows. I like to do like reprints. I like to do things that people can read and enjoy as the giveaways, like new issues or facsimiles or of classics that they may not have. This Secret Argent special with this Brian Boland cover in newsstand. And then there were a bunch of Superman families, which I'm collecting, and some of these are hilarious. You know, like Clark Kent's Mina dilemma. Just a bunch of these. Some of them were these giants. The earlier ones, Superman Family was a title that continued the numbering. Just get focused back from Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. They canceled Supergirl, Lois Lane, and Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane, and Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. Canceled those 3 titles, and then just continued Jimmy Olsen's numbering and put all the stories together. And it ran for, I don't know, about 40 issues or so. Some of these later issues have Mr. and Mrs. Superman, which I enjoy, which are the Earth 2, I think at the bottom there, that's a Earth 2 Superman Adventures, which is pretty cool. That's like, I didn't even realize it till I was doing research on my Crisis on Infinite Earths series that there was an Earth 2 Lana Lang who became Insect Queen. And she is in Crisis on Infinite Earths. One panel. Tune into the series to find out when and get all the history on that. And then this Conan the King, this Marvel 25th anniversary issue. This is a really nice copy. I think with the press, I might look to submit that because I think that does have value in a 9.8. Pretty much all those 25th anniversaries. I'm sure there are collectors who try to get all of them in a 9.8. So then I was digging through a bunch of his other bins and came across a whole bunch. Didn't have the keys. I do have all the keys. There are 3 keys in this run. I think it's an 18 or 16 issue series. Issue 1 is the first appearance of Richard Dragon. It's also the first appearance of Ben Turner. Then issue 5, I think it is the first appearance of Lady Shiva. That's the most expensive book in the run. And then the final issue is when Ben Turner becomes Bronze Tiger. And that's a book I've been kind of specking on. So he had a few of these. You'll see them mixed in as I go through. This I'm going to also do as a giveaway. It's a newsstand of Legion of Superheroes 294, the conclusion to the Great Darkness Saga, which is one of my all-time favorite storylines. This I was surprised I didn't have because I did collect the title from Eclipse. Airboy and Mr. Monster. Did not have that. I do have the entire Airboy run, and most collectors are most familiar with the Airboy issue with Valkyrie by Dave Stevens. Another Richard Dragon, issue number 4, issue number 10, which is also a July 76 DC Bicentennial banner book. Number 16, I guess I ran 18 issues. I think it's 18. And issue 17. And 12. And 13. I don't know how he gets his leg in that position. Who did that cover? Ernie Chua or Ernie Chan. Yeah, he did a ton of covers in the mid-'70s. And then this Rich Buckler cover. And number 8. Wow. And number 6. And then I picked this up just because it was high grade. Justice League of America 182. I really have to go through my PC because I really want all these in near mint. And there's some of them, the older ones, and the ones that came out the year I had a subscription that are not near mint. I'm pretty sure the year I had a subscription might have been the around this or year before this. I think it's the JLA JSA team up where Mr. Terrific is killed. Then, if you don't have enough martial arts with Richard Dragon, get some Karate Kid books. Number 4, and these are a really nice shape. Number 3, Bicentennial. And number 5, and ironically, none of them were written by Ralph Macchio. There's a comic book writer that has the exact same name as the actor who played the Karate Kid in the 1984 movie that's not at all related to the comic. But if you do watch the end credits of the 1984 John Avildsen film starring Ralph Macchio, at the end it says it does give recognition to DC Comics because they did have the trademark on Karate Kid. Then this was a sharp copy of Moon Knight 5. Sienkiewicz cover, while not. And a sharp copy of Miracle Man number 2. A not-so-sharp copy. These two I saw. I figured I'd pick them up. Nightcrawler 1 and Iceman 1. Each of their respective miniseries. So their first ever solo series. This is a Crisis tie-in. I already have it, but this is the final issue of Wonder Woman. After 329 issues and 45 years. Final issue. It looks nice, but somebody traced over Wonder Woman. So it's got impressions in pen. It's not, there's no pen on the book. They'd have to be pressed out if I want, but it's not a gradable book anyway. This one I might get graded because it's really sharp. A little bit of spec to it too. Wonder Man number 1, Bill Sienkiewicz cover. This is the first solo Wonder Man title, and I think we're still getting a Disney Plus series at some point in the future. Who knows? This book, I think, is an undervalued key, and it's Web of Spider-Man 36, the first appearance of Tombstone. This is maybe a slight 9/8 contender. I'm going to press it and see what happens. This one, I'm not sure if the press will work. Yeah, there's a little bit of a thing up. If I get it in the right light, yeah. It looked pretty sharp, but yeah, you can see there's, if you're looking, an indentation that kind of goes through the price from the top staple. So, I don't think that's a gradable copy, but Spider-Man 2099, hey. Whitman copy of, and I have to know this off the top of my head because with the Whitman DCs, there's no issue number. You get that stupid Whitman logo instead. This is Super Friends 25, the first appearance of Green Fury, Beatrice DaCosta, who becomes Fire. And if you're following current comics, Fire and Ice have their own miniseries going on. This is a very sharp copy. I think this is a 9/8 contender. Does need a press. It's a little bit of work. Uncanny X-Men 239, the first cover appearance of Mr. Sinister, and the first appearance of Madeline Pryor as the Goblin Queen. And then the last two books were a couple of nice newsstands. This is a late newsstand. I'm not even sure the year off the top of my head. But it's X-Men 114 newsstand. First appearance of Cassandra Nova. That's a contender. As is this. He had a few copies of this because I've been looking, I've been going through the books. I see him at shows and I go to his sales frequently. This is the sharpest copy I think I'd seen. He had a whole bunch of these 90s newsstands in a collection he got. I picked up some of them over time. This is Flash 92, the first appearance of Impulse. So I looked. And this is from, what year is this? 1994. Okay. This is a 9/8 contender. This copy is very sharp. And with some of these 9.8s, like the Mr. Sinister book, if I get that at 9.8, that's staying in the PC until I get another 9.8. Same is probably true with this. The interesting thing about this book, though, is if you look on, I looked on both Cover Price and Go Collect, no data for a newsstand in a 9.8 and in graded. No data for a graded newsstand. So I don't know. It would be awesome to get like the, CGC didn't really keep census until they started noting newsstands last year. It would be really cool to have like the first newsstand 9.8 on the census. I don't know. I haven't looked at the census. But again, I didn't even find, if you go to Go Collect, there's DC Universe logo variants, but there's no indication of a newsstand variant for that particular issue. So let me know what you think in the comments below about that. Like a direct edition First Impulse in a 9.8 is about a $100 book. What would a newsstand be worth? What's the multiple for a newsstand from 1994, especially a newsstand that nobody's really seemed to have submitted? So that's kind of an interesting conundrum I have in regards to that book. So most of the books you saw there are going to the PC, all the Superman families, all the hardwares, the Richard Dragons, the Karate Kids, and a couple of others. And some of the books that'll go into Slab, maybe, because I talk about the breaking down the new books that I get in, Slab, Save, Spec, Sell. And then when I have them slabbed, then it's another iteration. It goes 3 S's because they're already slabbed. Then it's Spec, Save, or Sell. So like the X-Men 25, I would sell. And if I decide to try to see if I can press that Conan the King book to a 9.8, that would be a sell. The Tombstone would be a sell. But I think the Flash and the X-Men I would keep. The new X-Men, this would be a sell. I just submitted a 9.8. Did I get a 9.8 back in that? I don't think I got I think that's in my next submission. So anyway, I'd like to thank everyone for stopping by. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about the books, and let me know what you think about that First Impulse in a newsstand. I don't see any on the any sales data on it. There could be on the census. Let me do a quick check, and I'll be right back. Yeah, it's interesting. There are 837 slabbed copies on the CGC census, and they do note multi-pack edition. They have an additional 22. No indication of a newsstand. Now, CGC did not separately note newsstands in the past. I see a 9.2 on eBay. I see a 9.6 on eBay available. And another 9.6. And sold listings. Let's see if eBay sold is of any help. 9.6 sold for $63.50. A 9.8 on November 2nd did sell for $180. That's interesting. Because, so there is a 9.8 out there that's been sold. They're $180. So there's a, and it's that particular sale is not incorporated, has not been brought into Go Collect. So, yeah, kind of an interesting little curio. There are newsstands out there. I'm not saying there aren't. And there are newsstands in a 9.8, but I just thought that was kind of an interesting book to take a look at. So anyway, thanks for stopping by. You can take a look at a couple of my other videos here. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.